Welcome to Gas Cylinder Tracker, Lesson 3, continuing on with our Knowing Your Supplier System into Part 3. The last information we had was talking about the data that your supplier tracks. Now we're going to move on into invoicing periods. These are going to vary from supplier to supplier, so it's important you ask and find out how they're established within your supplier system, and they will vary. While I've been working with gas cylinder tracking, they've changed their system twice as far as their invoicing periods. Originally they were on monthly, then they went to daily rental periods. So you need to check with your supplier, find out what they're actually operating on at the moment. So you want to know how they're calculated. You also want to talk to them about the rental charges. What are they? Because they're going to vary. How are they calculated? And depending on whether you've got just a small quantity or a large quantity, they may have a different scheme that's more appropriate for your holdings. So make sure you ask them for the best deal that they can give you on that. Next thing we're going to discuss is delivery fees. Is there a minimum charge? Which there is, up to a certain number of cylinders. Ask for a schedule of fees. Is these different? There's a breakdown with some suppliers. They've got, say, 3 different schedules depending on the number of cylinders you actually order. How do they deal with emergency deliveries? You see, normally your normal delivery fees are broken up amongst all the customers on the route. So if you have a specific call out or emergency delivery that's required, you get charged for the complete delivery charge that they would normally spread across, all their customers on that run. And I called up for an emergency delivery, asked the price on it on one occasion, and I almost fell off the chair, all but dropped the phone. And believe me, we went and picked up just what we needed ourselves. We did not have them delivered. It was just exorbitant, the price. So just be aware of that, and forewarned is forearmed, if you know what I mean. Monthly rental invoice is the next thing. Now, this is another one that's ask him to take you through it so you fully understand what's covered by the invoice and how the totals are calculated. There's several different things to consider on an invoice. There's cylinder days, there's cylinder count, there's the whole lot. So take the time, go through it with your supplier, and ask them exactly what is covered in that invoice and get a full, complete understanding of it. And if you have to, don't be afraid to call up and ask for that explanation again or one particular point on it. Just make sure you have a thorough understanding of it. Audits is our next topic. Yeah, okay. Everybody says audits. Oh, throw their hands in the air. But with gas cylinders, it's different. You can actually save money by doing audits, and that's explained later on. How are they conducted? Are they on a routine basis? Are they on an ad hoc basis? Do they have to, the representative of the company, are they the only ones that can do it? Can you do it and send them the details? These are all things you need to ask and have considered. But you also want to tell them that you want quarterly audits established. By doing quarterly audits, if you're missing any gas cylinders, you can stop the daily rental, because daily rentals charges continue on for lost cylinders. So the sooner you know that you're missing a cylinder, you can notify the supplier to issue you an invoice for the replacement cost of that cylinder, and then that stops the daily rental. Now, with the barcoding coming in, which I'll explain later on, once this is all, if someone else returns your cylinder, well, they'll credit that cylinder back to your account. So you've got nothing to lose, really. So the sooner you can stop it, the better. But the only way you're going to find out you're missing that cylinder is to carry out an audit. So I strongly suggest you do quarterly audits. Barcoding, as I just mentioned, that's one of the things. Some suppliers are moving into that now. Not all have. So make sure you ask your supplier, do they use it? If they do, how does it work within their system? What are they doing with it? The whole lot. Now, what we're using with different systems is we're actually using the supplier's barcode on the cylinder within our own system to help us, and I suggest you look at doing that as well. I strongly suggest you take a notepad with you when you go and speak with the manager of your local gas company. Take plenty of notes, and that way you've got these to refer to when you get back to your office. So once you've spent this time with the manager of your gas company, you should have a full understanding of how your supplier system works, what you'll need to track, the various charges associated with cylinder rentals, and you'll feel confident then that when the next cylinder invoice arrives, you will know how to deal with it. You'll know exactly what you're looking at. I mean, when I went and spoke to my manager or gas company manager there, I spent 2 hours with him. Now, I feel those 2 hours were probably the most valuable 2 hours I've ever spent in my life, because the knowledge I gained from them enabled me then to go on to establish my own system and have an understanding, working knowledge of their system. It also helped to develop a relationship with that manager. And it's very important that you do that. Like I said before, it gives you your own credibility because you're taking an interest. You're showing that you care and you want to make, the best of this and control your cylinder rentals. When you go with them, show them that you have that attitude, they will bend over backwards to work with you. And that's vitally important. You really need to establish that. Once you've had your meeting, you've armed yourself then with the information and knowledge that you need to start looking at available systems and whether you want to create your own or whether you could be better off buying an off-the-shelf or an existing program, but at least you'll know exactly what to look for to see if it's appropriate for your system. So the next step we're going to go into is the data that you actually need to track. So this is the end of lesson 3. We will continue with lesson 4. Thank you very much.